Welcome back. Tonight we're going to take a look at the owner's manual for the new CVOs. It's available online and something you can go out and take a look at. So let's start with first how to get there. All right, on the Harley-Davidson main page, we're going to go all the way to the bottom, and in here you're going to find owner's manuals. And all of the owner's manuals are out here for all the years and models, but you have to have a VIN number in order to get your manual. But there's a workaround. So if we tap home, you can register for a SIP login, Service Information Portal login. It is free, and I encourage you to do so. They only want basic information from you, and that will get you a login. From there, you will click the independent operator login. There is no regular individual login, so we're going to click independent login. You'll put your username and password in, and you're now presented with this page. This page offers you to put a VIN number in, or you can do it by selecting from the drop-down menu. And look, you can go all the way back to Buell's, and they even have the live wires in here. But we're going to go to the current 1981 of the current CVO custom. And there, the 23 CVO Street Glide and the current Road Glide Anniversary Edition, and then the CVO Road Glide. We'll do find on that. And there's a picture of the bike. And on the left, you have owner's manual. Now, in some of my previous videos, I've showed you other content that's out here, so I encourage you to take a look around. There's quite a bit being published every day about these new models. So here we go, is the 2023 Harley-Davidson Owner's Manual. We'll tap on that, and we're presented with the manual. You can tap here to go full screen, and there's all of the information here. It is searchable, which is nice. So if you're looking for something specific, tap at the top, and you can just enter it in. All right, so I'll let you guys roam around through it, guys and gals, roam through it, but I'll show you a couple things that I found interesting. So one of the first things here is under your motorcycle. They have premium CVO items. And it was interesting to find out what was included with the bike. You know, it's not been noted what they're giving you with it. So like with the CVO, the traditional CVOs, you are going to get 2 key fobs instead of 1. That's a bonus. You get your owner's manual. You do get the saddlebag liner kit that you can carry your stuff in the hotel. You do get 1 helmet headset that allows you to use the CarPlay, but as we're learning, it doesn't have to be a Harley-Davidson stamped headset. At least far as I can tell, that it doesn't have to be. I haven't seen anyone test it yet, but it's on my list to do so when we get the bike. We get a motorcycle cover. It's a really nice cover. I have the cover still for my current one. It's a good cover. And then you get a shock spanner wrench, because you can adjust your rear shock in a couple different ways, and you will need the wrench to do so. And then there's a headlight alignment tool, adjustment tool, not available in all markets. And it's interesting when you read through the manual here, at least for the Road Glide, you just use a Phillips screwdriver. So I don't know if you actually get an adjustment tool or not. Okay, let's move on to specifications here on the left. A couple of things I wanted to point out here. First of all, was the tires are there. So we indeed know the front is a 19-inch, not a 21-inch, and the rear is an 18-inch. That is a change from the last few CVOs. It talks about the running weight, 862 pounds. But I want to talk about the seat height here. So the seat height, 26.7. On the current bikes, it's 26.1. So marginal difference in height, slightly taller. Being 6'1", I'll take the extra height, but it's certainly not much taller, not really noticeable. The seat will probably squish down and you won't have any difference. The other thing I noticed here is the road clearance is 5.7 inches. The current Road Glide is 5.1. So again, that same little bit of difference in road clearance, which contributes to the seat height difference. So that's where it comes from. All right, the before riding section here, they talk about break-in. So I just wanted to bring this up because, you know, about to get the bike, we're going to have to go through the break-in. The one thing they talk about is for the first 50 miles, to keep your engine speed below 3,000 RPM in any gear and don't lug the engine. So that's pretty typical. That's been the same rule for all Harleys for a while. And then they say up to 500 miles, vary the engine speed, avoid operating at any steady speed. So don't go get out on the highway and do 100 miles at 85 miles an hour in 6th gear or 5th gear, right? Don't sit there. And then try to stay below 3,500 RPM. I will say my own advice that I've gotten over the years on this topic is to follow what Harley says here. But one recommendation I get is try to get up to that 3,000 RPM as quickly as you can, not burning out, not overly accelerating the throttle, but you want to get up in gear, get up to that speed, get up to that RPM level fairly quickly. You are trying to seat those rings, and then you want to cool down. So get off the bike, let it cool down. You want to heat cycle that motor, and you'd want to be kind of spirited about it to get it up there in speed to seat those rings. Okay, let's go down to operation. And in here, I wanted to call out, they have quite a bit. They talk about the ride modes and how to set those, the infotainment, a lot of the stuff we've already talked about on this channel. But here's that remote control garage door opener. So I wanted to point that out. So it talks about home link. Oh, real quick. So the heated grips, it is confirmed in the manual here. There is a button there, right? So you can see it right here. You push the button on the side to turn on your heated grip, 3 levels of heat. You don't have to just use the screen to turn your heated grips on. There's no dial, but it's just a push button on the side. So they talk about the remote garage door opener here, and that you can pair your garage door opener and you can do more than one door. But they talk about that you can flash the headlamp high beam or select garage door 1 in the home link menu. So if you've known Harleys for a while, they do offer an accessory that you can bolt on the bike and then mount to your door opener in the garage that'll let you flash the headlamp to get it to open. So that feature is here. So I should be able to pull up the house now, flash the headlamp, and see my door open. I am pretty excited about that. I currently use the app on my Apple Watch, and I have to stop and get my watch visible, go through the menus, and wait for it to load. So that's going to be a pretty nice feature, I think. All right, so the shocks have on the rear a preload adjustment. My understanding is the front shocks actually have no adjustment whatsoever. So the preload adjustment is, you can set it for rider only, rider and passenger, and then extra gear, and they give you tables for each. So what you have to do is you have to manually adjust the shock to get it in the range, and then you do the fine-tune adjustments with that adjustment knob that's exposed on the left-hand side of the bike. So they walk you through it here, and you can see performing your preload and then performing your dampening. You got to use that spanner tool here to turn that on the right shock is where that is, and then the fine adjustments are through that exposed handle. And then on both shocks, you can adjust the dampening, and there's an adjustment on both sides at the bottom. And so you turn that, and they give you the weights and the charts here. So it looks like a significant improvement in that rear suspension. The early YouTubers riding the bikes in Milwaukee are always touting the suspension as a big improvement. Pretty excited about that. Okay, let's go down to system settings. All right, so in system settings, we have quite a few things, but one of the things I noticed here was this fan control can be set to off, auto, or on, and they reference that elsewhere in the manual. So it implies you can turn the fan off. And so we have learned too, there is no oil cooler on this bike at all. It is just a small radiator at the bottom with a fan, and it implies here you can tell it to never come on. So I know I've been hesitant to have a fan on the bike, and I think it's always annoying while it runs while the bike comes off. So maybe I can turn it off. Not so sure that's a smart idea, but it implies you can do that. All right, so in ride modes, they go through all the ride mode setups, multiple places in the document, but I wanted to show this. This is the traction control settings table and what it's set to in the different modes. You can turn traction control off. That is in here as well. But that's an interesting table. It talks about the engine map, the engine braking, throttle response, traction control, and the anti-lock braking, which you can't turn off, that I know of. But you can turn the traction control off. All right, let's talk about the phone. Okay, so they go through phone operations here, how to take a call, make a call, all the menus. There's quite a few menus here. But down here, they talk about CarPlay. It says, Apple CarPlay does not require an app. When connected, not all iPhone apps are displayed, only approved Apple apps, so traditional CarPlay. But it says here that CarPlay will not activate without use of a headset and a microphone. So you'll have to have a headset connected in order for it to work, but nowhere that I can find does it say it has to be a Harley-Davidson stamped headset. And then here it says, Apple CarPlay is available wirelessly. Phone will need to be Bluetooth paired and connected USB connection can also be used. So you can use wired or wireless to get the CarPlay. That is a giant win. I think everyone's tired of connecting that USB cable to get the CarPlay feature on their current model years. So that is a win. They also in here talked about the weather feature and some of the other options for traffic and etc. You do have to pair your phone via Wi-Fi to get that information. So they talk about pairing to Wi-Fi that I've showed in my infotainment video. So we'll be doing a lot more information on the infotainment system because quite a bit in here to go over, but it'll be much more fun when we have the bike and we can actually click on stuff and go. So that is the CVO Owner's Manual. Anyone can go out and take a look and see the new features. What features do you think are going to end up on the next year, model year, road glides and street glides? I think a lot of these features are going to have to be on those bikes. That bike will probably be in the $26,000 to $30-some thousand range is the guess if they're close to their current pricing for a special model. So the question will be is how special will the current CVOs be after the regular model release next year? I don't know. I don't care. I'm excited to get the bike and share it with you. We're going to learn together. We'll see what we think of it, how reliable it is, and I can't wait to show it to you. I encourage you to subscribe, follow me on my journey, and I want to thank you for being in the friction zone.